Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. This is the ISO GOAT here, back again for another quick video. Let me start this by saying I'm not a financial advisor, nor do I have financial experience whatsoever. Do not invest in anything solely based off my opinions or anything that I say in this video until you've done your own due diligence and your own research first. Never throw in more money than you're willing to lose, and also make sure you have a firm understanding of crypto before throwing in any kind of money. I hope you guys are enjoying your week. Sorry I took a slight break. It was kind of busy this past week, so I'm getting back to the grind. Got a couple things I wanted to update you guys with. I'm probably going to do a series of videos in regards to this because it's quite a bit of information in the past couple of days, just as a heads up. First thing, this is a article from Crypto Assets, Moving from Theory to Practice. It talks about DLTs, financial instruments, things of that sort. I'm just going to take some excerpts straight from here. Everything that I do discuss in my video, I also post on my page, so that way you can check it out yourself. I typically put the link as well, so that way you can use your own discernment and interpret it how you would like. All right, so let's jump into it. A partnership between ETS and Association of National Numbering Agencies was established in 2021 to identify synergies between the DTI and existing standards such as the ISIN. Together, the DTI and ISIN will form a bridge between the traditional and tokenized financial world infrastructure used to process financial instruments, with the overall aim of achieving interoperability and all the greater advantages this enables. Interoperability is going to be very key in the very near future, my apologies. And there are some different financial instruments that I think will be coming down the pipeline at some point. I'm sure at this point you guys understand as well. You've done the due diligence, you've done the research, you owe yourself that. I'm going to go back to the article. And just as an FYI, when they mention financial instruments, for some odd reason I think of SIFIs, which is something that Jim Rickers talks about in his videos. Systemically important financial institutions, maybe at some point, maybe the XRPL and, some of that technology, some of these DLTs might be considered systemically, mouthful, systemically important. So I just think that's kind of interesting. Let me know your ideas, throw it in the comments. Back to the article. Potentially also the classification of financial instruments, CF5, financial instruments short name FISN codes, and the legal entity identifier would also need to be considered for crypto assets. So they throw crypto in there. Now, I want you to listen to this part. This is ISO 20022 related. This is also where the ISO 20022 standard for the information exchange between financial parties comes into play. All ISO 20022 securities messages, whether for settlement, asset servicing, and collateral management, can include the above mentioned ISO standards, including the DTI. In addition, other data elements needed in order to exchange information related to crypto assets, there you go, throwing that in there again, have been adapted to deal with the specificities of crypto assets. Example, certain fields have been expanded to cater for blockchain addresses as well as quantities and balances with many fractional digits. The correlation is going to be very important in the future. Like I said, you can check out the article. It is posted on my page. Use your own interpretation and discernment. Next thing, this actually talks about how XRP and ODL work. It gives like a breakdown. It talks about bulk funding. The following diagram represents the use case for ODL bulk payments. Obviously, it has a series of steps. We kind of know how that works at this point, but I just thought it was an interesting breakdown. You guys can check it out from the article as well. There's more things included in there. Next thing, this is from the, I think, Bank of Brazil, Central Bank of Brazil, yes. It talks about the DeFi architecture, and there's actually a chart. This, I think I posted on my page if I'm not mistaken. But it says standards for issuing tokens representing financial instruments. I keep thinking, for some odd reason, based on this verbiage, that potentially one of these DLTs, just my thoughts, like I said, might be considered systemically important in the future. Who knows? I don't know who does that exact designation, but it is a possibility. I'm just tossing ideas out there. You guys can take it. You can run with it. I'd like to hear your opinions as well in regards to that. Next thing, this actually talks about South Africa, wholesale CBDCs, things of that sort. Once again, posted on my page. Let me see here. A wholesale CBDC would not fundamentally change the existing monetary systems. Non-banks would continue to keep their accounts with commercial banks, and payments between customers of two different banks would continue to be made using digital central bank money. However, this is highlighted, using DLT-based reserves. Banks will continue to create the vast majority of the money supply, and central banks will continue to have access to the non-banking sector only through physical cash. I'm going to skip through here. This could lead to further competition in the payment sector and disrupt traditional correspondent banking. That's what we rely on currently right now, okay? And I think at some point, eventually it will go away. Whether it's a phase-in approach, whether it's, all at once, who knows, but we shall find out. Back to the article. Where did I go? Oh, there we go. This could lead to further competition in the payment sector and disrupt traditional correspondent banking, where smaller banks hold accounts at larger banks that manage the interbank payments and reserves for them. There will be some kind of bridge currency at some point, just as a thought. Same article goes into CBDCs of central banks, and it gives actually an example. In addition to the development around wholesale CBDCs of central banks, there are also private sector projects such as Ripple or the planned JPM coin project. No, I'm just kidding. Previous tests and prototypes of wholesale CBDC projects, for example in Thailand and South Africa, have shown that DLT systems can increase transaction speed through fast settlement in the interbank market. The use of DLT systems is particularly advantageous if further transactions such as security transfers would also be processed via a DLT-based transaction system. DLT, man, they're literally just sliding that on in there like, come on, y'all gotta pay attention. Next thing, this is from Finextra. This is actually a older article, but I just thought it was interesting. This is just as a reminder to you guys, so I'm going to take it verbatim from the actual article. Today, ODL is available in nearly 40 payout markets, and last year, approximately 60% of payments over RippleNet were sent through ODL. Let me read that one more time. Today, ODL is available in nearly 40 payout markets, and last year, approximately 60, that's 60%, of payments over RippleNet were sent through ODL. This is all highlighted, by the way. In other words, over half of payments are now using XRP for cross-border transactions. Ripple has processed $30 billion worth of volume and 20 million transactions since RippleNet was first launched. I should just end the video right there, but I'm not going to. There's more. Sorry, there's a lot of things going on. Next thing, this talks about Target to go live, things of that sort. I'm not going to go too far down that rabbit hole. You guys have already seen that. You've seen the documents. I'm going to skip that. More charts, more charts. This is from XRP Patriot. At least 4 to 5 more U.S. banks are at the verge of bankruptcy. I'll know when I see it, but I do think that this is going to have a ripple effect, no pun intended, just as an FYI. And everything that's been happening between, Signature Bank, Silvergate, Silicon Valley, I think Credit Suisse now is pretty much on the chopping block. Like, there's a lot of things, and this has a lot of implications, especially once it hits these larger banks. At some point, it's going to ripple down to these smaller banks, just as a heads up. Anyways, next thing. This is from Vail. Shout out to Vail for this. Now they're pulling money out of First Republic banks. But wait, didn't the fool say the U.S. dollar is not going to be replaced? Didn't they say cash is going to take 50 years to go digital? And then I'm not going to go too far into that last part, but the world is changing around us, long story short. I just thought that was interesting, so I did want to share that. Next thing, this is from the Digital Euro Association. We are happy to have Ripple on board as a gold sponsor for the Digital Euro Conference. Join us on March 31st, 2023 and meet the leading experts in the industry. And then it talks about 25% off, blah, blah, blah. Ripple is global, okay? Like, you're starting to see their name more often. You're starting to see it in lights. At some point, I think you might even see it on the television more often than we're seeing now. I mean, we're starting to see advertisements, commercials, things of that sort for some of these different companies that are going to be here in the future, in my opinion, like I said. So, I just think it's kind of interesting that they are basically preparing the mass media to see this as a regularity, like, often. Like, you watch YouTube, next thing you know, crypto commercial. Watch YouTube again, or you watch TV or something, next thing you know, oh, there's an advertisement. Now Fidelity, custody crypto. Like, it's a lot of things that are going right now, and it's really starting to ramp up very quickly for those that are paying attention. Next thing, this is from XRP Crypto Wolf. Cross River Bank is Circle USDC's new partner for automated settlements. Not too long ago, Cross River Bank integrated Ripple for real-time international payments. Food for thought. Let me see here. I'm going to skip that. This is actually, I think I talked about this, if I'm not mistaken, but I'll bring it up again. Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System. This is actually on their website. I just thought the verbiage was kind of interesting. After receiving a recommendation from the boards of the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, FDIC for those that don't know, and the Federal Reserve, Treasury Secretary Yellen, after consultation with the president, approved actions to enable the FDIC to complete its resolutions of Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank in a manner that fully protects all depositors, both insured and uninsured. These actions will reduce stress across the financial system, support financial stability, and minimize any impact on businesses, households, taxpayers, and the broader economy. I think this is kind of funny that they're basically going after crypto-friendly banks. I think there's a game of chess going on right now, and people aren't paying attention. Really, it's chess, not checkers. Just being honest, like I said, pay attention. The devil is in the details, just being honest. I'm not going to make this video too long, so I'm just going to talk about one more thing. Give me 1 second. Here we go. If it'll pull up. Bank of America, Citigroup, JP Morgan Chase, Wells Fargo, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, BNY Mellon, PNC Bank, State Street, Truist, and U.S. Bank to make uninsured deposits totaling $30 billion into First Republic Bank. Oh, this is crazy, everything going on. Anyways, I'm going to link the article so that way you guys can check it out. It's not very long of an article. It's a couple paragraphs, just as an FYI. But it talks about, dollar amounts that they're throwing in. Yeah, I'm not going to go too far into this. You guys can read this article. It's not long. So that's all I got for y'all today. Like I said, I'm going to break these videos up. Like, comment, subscribe, share this with some of you love. ISO go out. Catch y'all in another video. Thank you so much.